Welcome everybody. Y'all ready for this? The Hustle. My name is Steve Armopoulos, and these are my co-hosts.
I'm Talia.
And I'm Luciano. You may have heard me on radio, you may have never heard of me at all, but that's okay.
Cause y'all gon' learn today. Your whole life was a struggle, had to make it out the jungle. This is a show for you. Welcome to the hustle, under pressure that will break a foe. Keep chasing your goals until you blow. Now, welcome to the hustle.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Hustle Podcast. And today we don't have a special guest, just three special people. But only two of them are here right now.
Yeah.
We're waiting for the third person.
Yeah, because Tech is missing in action, but is it really a problem? Because we're just as entertaining without him.
Look, right now, Tech's doing his thing. He's slanging those cars, you know
He's
what I mean?
selling them cars, selling them
cars,
vehicles.
making them bucks.
He had to make it apparent to everyone on the ground that he's selling vehicles. So if you need vehicles, go to Honda. Where is it?
It's a Honda.
It's a Honda
dealership.
somewhere.
It's a Honda dealership somewhere.
It's the West End, no?
And
Vaudreuil.
what I want to see him pop up with the suit on.
Is he coming with a suit?
I hope he's coming with the suit on. I think he said he's coming with the suit on today.
Oh my goodness.
So
We're in for a treat.
Yeah,
We're in for a
He's
treat.
going to look like the Kingpin from that Marvel show.
He's going to look like a big fucking douchebag.
Anyways, we'll wait till he gets here so we can make that assumption. We can make that determination when he gets here.
Yeah, we'll see what he looks like with a suit on.
So,
Hopefully.
Talia.
Oh, yes.
Let me jump right into it right
Go
now.
for it.
It's been a while since we got to talk about any of us here at this table.
Facts.
And the other day you brought up some, like, you do work at a hospital, so you're seeing some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get into that, you know what I mean? Like, you left me hanging last week.
Yeah, so basically, I was working for a glasses company, and super nice people. It was family owned, like it was a great company, and I just found the job really boring. So crediting accounts for a glasses company is not really fulfilling. So I decided to go back to the hospital and work as a clerk in the ER.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I'm allowed to talk too much about it, because
We shouldn't you shouldn't have mentioned any of the things that you said at the beginning, like the company or anything.
I just want to give a little like a little idea of what I jumped from. You know, I went from boring crediting to like bang in the ER, and like shit's always popping off. And
Okay, so allegedly, what happened at the ER?
allegedly, what happened at the ER? Like, like what? There's so much shit that happens at the ER, but there's a specific scenario, I guess, that I was bringing up last week about the lady that was smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had this lady come into the ER. No names will be given, by the way, because we want to protect the privacy of this individual. Yeah, so she came into the ER. I called her overhead to get into a room. She wasn't coming. So I was like, all right, let me go to the waiting room. Let me see where this lady's at. And I see she's sleeping on a bench, and she smelled like, you know when you leave beer in a bag and it just smells like shit?
It has a specific smell.
It has a very
I know what you mean.
specific odor, and she smelled like beer in a bag. So we get this lady in the room, and she kept leaving the room, but the doctor had said they think she has tuberculosis, so she has to stay isolated in this room and wear a mask. She kept leaving the room with no mask on, and I kept telling, it was like babysitting. I swear to God, it was like babysitting. Like, go back to your room, go back to your room. So I kept telling this lady, like, put on your mask, go back in your room. I can't be telling her business out in the emergency room, but I was just like, go back into your room. She's like, Madame, je veux fumer. So for the English-speaking viewers, she said, ma'am, I want to go smoke, in like a really disgruntled French accent. So I'm like, well, sorry, like you have to stay in your room and wear your mask. Anyways, this lady ends up locking herself up in the bathroom, drinking a beer, and smoking her cigarette in the ER. So we're all in the back, and we're like, why does it smell like cigarettes in here? And then a PAB comes out, and she's like, that fucking lady's driving me fucking crazy. She's smoking a cigarette in the bathroom, and she's drinking beer. Oh, yeah. And then they're like, let's kick her out. Let's kick her out. And the doctor's like, no, we can't kick her out. Like, she might have tuberculosis. Like, we need to, get this lady on medication. But, yeah, that was just one little thing that happened in the ER. But
She had tuberculosis.
I don't know. I didn't end up staying to figure out, and I don't really find out the diagnosis at the end of the doctors seeing why the patient's there. I just find out why they're there.
I think we would definitely not be able to tell any of the viewers if she did have tuberculosis, because that's disclosed medical information.
I don't even get to. I don't know.
Yeah,
I could see, however, when you walk into triage, like you walk in, you see a nurse, and then you go to admitting and you get your card made. I see what the initial like consult is. So let's say like you have a really bad headache and you're coming into the emergency, you see a nurse, you're like, hey, I have a headache, and they're typing on the computer. Basically, like the nurse is writing what you're there for, so the doctor can have like an idea of what they're coming to see you for. And I could basically read everyone's diagnosis like once they come in and speak with the nurse. There's a lot of weird shit people come to the ER for.
Can you say like what's the weirdest thing that you've seen, either from somebody coming to the counter or somebody writing down, I shoved a unicorn figurine up my butt or something? I don't know. There has to be some weird shit.
So far, like, look, it's only a few weeks I'm in this position.
Okay, so it's only a few weeks.
So I haven't seen crazy shit yet. Well, like, that lady was pretty fucking wild, but I've seen worse when I was working transport. Like, when I was bringing bodies to the morgue, like, I've seen worse.
Fucking all these nasty jobs over here.
Yo,
Right?
and just imagine when I was a housekeeper, the shit I had to clean, like...
The housekeeper sounds like the easiest job out of all of them.
It was easy, but
transporting of dead bodies, like, I think that's a little traumatic. Right
it's
there.
not so bad, like, because normally they're already in a bag when I go to the room. Actually, fun fact: did you guys know there's 2 different types of dead bodies?
Let's hear that. No, I did not know
There's
that.
2 different types of dead bodies. So, the first type of dead body is one that like just passed away. So. They're still warm. They still feel like a body.
Okay.
The second type of dead body is one that's been dead for a couple hours and they're hard as rock.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So whenever I would move the ones that were like still fresh, I felt like I was putting someone that was like asleep in a fridge.
Oh, wow.
But then the ones that are hard, when you're transporting them from like the stretcher to like the metal bed that goes into the fridge, all you hear is thunk when their head hits it. Yeah, so.
How many bodies do you think you've transported?
Honestly, not that many. Maybe about like 20.
20 bodies.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to therapy for these?
No.
I think you should go to therapy.
No, I'm fine.
Maybe that.
I think all this has done to me, working in healthcare, has made me like very numb.
Exactly. I think that's why you should go to therapy. Say I used to transport dead bodies.
Yeah. So.
And I'm
That
only
was
27
that's not
years
even
old.
that bad. Like you should just imagine this one time, okay? This one time I had to do the opposite of transporting a body to the morgue. So
You had
this
to
one
kill
time
somebody.
I get a call and they go, "Yeah, can you bring a body up to emergency? A family wants to see the person that passed away." So I'm thinking, first of all, like, I can't do this. I'm going to get in trouble. Like, I have to talk to my supervisor or something because I don't want to lose my job for this. So then the head nurse comes to see me. My supervisor calls me. They give us the okay. I'm like, okay. So I go to the morgue. And when I get to the morgue, there's coroners there taking pictures of another body. So this is like the first time I've seen a body outside of a body bag, like a dead body outside of a body bag. The man was shot in the head. So it was just like his whole face was like blown up and they're just taking pictures of it. And I'm just there like, oh, I was not expecting to see this shit. Like I'm not paid to see this shit. So I had to wait till they were done. Then I had to bring the other body to the emergency. And when I brought that body to the emergency, the nurse decided while I'm still there to open up the bag. And the poor lady, like I don't know what happened to her, but she was like slit from ear to ear. And from, I guess they were like looking inside her organs or something, but from like the top of her chin all the way down, like they were doing, I don't know what they were doing, but she still had like tubes in her and stuff. So the nurse in the PEB had to like clean her up, like pulling out the tubes right in front of me. I was like, yeah, then I took a week off of work after that instinct. But yeah, anyways, what's up with you, Steve, man? Like you've been traveling and shit.
That sounds intense. Sounds nothing compared to what I've been doing, obviously. Traveling, enjoying the many wonders of the world. Mm-hmm. Did a nice little South America trip.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did I talk about Thailand? Yeah, I did talk about Thailand. You weren't here for that, actually.
I wasn't here?
No, Sin was here. You weren't here.
No, I missed that episode. I was mad I missed that episode.
So yeah, we talked a bit about Thailand. After that, did Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
For my Boricuas out there, you know what I mean? Then we did the South America trip. Went to Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, Peru, and then Mexico City. And it was amazing.
Which was your favorite?
Honestly, like there was Argentina. Look, you go to Argentina right now with the economic crisis that's happening in that country, which is very sad, but at the end of the day, for us North Americans, it's like you're like a king down there. Like a steak the size of your head. Okay, your head's a little small, so not your head. But the steak...
Tech's head.
The steak the size of Tech's head, $8, $9. And the best steak you'll ever eat in your life.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. The party scene down there. The party scene, it's like Europe. I don't know if you experienced the Europe party scene.
The Europe party scene is like out this world.
Yeah, like the clubs close at 6 a.m. Just like these festival type events. Bresh, this thing called Bresh, that was like the craziest outdoor festival, 4,000, 5,000 people. There was this club called La Kika, closed at 6 in the morning, crazy vibe and everything. And people were super friendly, you know what I mean? I heard stuff about Argentina that the people are a little colder over there.
Are they?
Because they say that people are more friendly in other South American countries because they got that salsa vibe in them. In Argentina, they're a little more conservative, I guess you would say. So that's what I was told. But I met a lot of people there, cool people. Besides the food, the partying, you're in Argentina. You know what I mean? There's so many nice things to see. The statues, the lookout points, just the architecture. The architecture is giving you that real European vibe. You know what I mean?
Have you been to Italy?
No, not yet.
I feel like you would appreciate the Amalfi Coast.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. I've seen pictures, and I definitely want to visit the Amalfi Coast.
It's beautiful.
So definitely in the future, we'll see when. I think after my next trip, I got to take it easy for a bit because I'm like really spending too much money on this. I'm like, I got to take it easy.
But it's okay. You're gaining memories out of this.
Yeah, but I can wait a bit. I can wait 4 or 5 months before I make some more memories.
Make some more memories here.
Yeah, Peru was great. Got to finally see Machu Picchu. We always make jokes about me hiking the Inca Trail, going to Machu Picchu. I finally went to fucking Machu Picchu.
Did you hike those trails?
I did not hike the trail because I had.
What a waste! I don't even care.
I had my knee problem, man. I had the knee problem.
Okay,
and
you're not that old.
The hike was like 3 hours in and 3 hours back, I think. I did just the 90-minute trek. 90-minute trek and then 90-minute back. I had a guide. Because there, what they do, they try to sucker you as soon as you get to the bus stops. They come up to you, guide. They're telling you $30, $50 American, $80 American. Everybody has their price. So I was just telling everybody no. I was trying to haggle with every single person. And then finally, when I got to the front gate, everybody had like all their guides got their groups together. They're ready to start the tour. And the guy comes up to me and he's like, you need a guide. I'm like, I'll give you 20 soles, which was like $5 or something. He's like, make it 30. I'm like, 20, man, that's it. He's like, okay, don't tell anybody else. So I got like a nice guided experience for $5, maybe a little more than $5. And the guy explained everything about Machu Picchu, the significance of certain things, you know what I mean? And I was about to do it on my own. And I was just going to walk around and look at all these beautiful remnants and everything. But the fact that I got that little deal made it a lot sweeter. That breathtaking view, when you see Machu Picchu from that viewpoint, you're like, fuck, how did these people build up here? Like, what made them say, oh, we're coming up here to like the highest peak in the Andes?
It has something to do with like frequencies.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's crazy. Like, trust me, you feel a vibe when you're up there. You feel a vibe of some extraterrestrial beings. That's what you feel, something.
Don't you feel that when you're chilling with me?
Yeah, always. Yeah, definitely. You're an alien.
It's funny you say tour guide because when I went to Italy, at one point me and my brother were in Florence. My dad stayed behind because he was with my no-no. He was too tired to walk around. and we see this guy on a bike, and he has like those seats in the back. It's like I don't know. Anyways, so we're like, oh, okay, maybe we'll take this. This guy came up to us, and he's like, do you guys want to do a little tour of Florence? We're like, yeah, sure, fuck it, why not? We couldn't enjoy the tour. Okay, first of all, we went to go see where Da Vinci lived, and we went to go see where Picasso, I think it was Picasso. I could be wrong. He was showing us where like these big names were like from. But the whole time he was giving us the tour, we couldn't concentrate because like, you know, when people talk to you and they have that white shit, like the saliva, the foam on the side of their mouth. Like this guy was talking to us and me and my brother were just looking at each other like, oh, it's so fucking disgusting. And like he would come like really close to our faces and we'd be like, dude, don't spit in our face, dog. Like this is so gross. The guy was super nice. And like I think I have a picture with him and my brother, but like you can't enjoy the experience.
TripAdvisor review after that. Yo,
Dead
2
ass.
stars. The guy was highly informative, really nice, but he had this white shit at the corner of his mouth.
Just drink some water, my guy. But also, it didn't help that he was like smoking a J while he was on the bike. Like he was biking and he was like smoking a J, passing it to my brother. And I was like, oh, maybe like don't share that with him. But yeah. But it was a nice trip. It was nice sightseeing.
Did you try any weird shit? Because like in Peru, I tried guinea pig.
Ugh, no.
You saw it, yeah, you commented on that. The
No.
guinea pig, you got to see the video. The thing, it's like, it's bigger than your average pet. But the guinea pig was so crispy as soon as I poked the fork into its like back or stomach. I don't know where the hell it was, but it was crispy. It was good. Tasted like roast pork. Alpaca.
Aren't those like the llamas that spit?
Yeah, exactly. Like Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
that the movie? Yo, shout out to Emperor's New Groove. I ate the llama from there. Or the alpaca, whatever it was. Same thing. It looks like the same exact thing.
Yeah, just one spits and one doesn't.
Yeah, and surprisingly, that was really, really good. I ate it twice. Like the same day. I'm like, I need another piece of that.
No, I'm
Yeah, it
too
was a
picky
nice
for that.
fucking piece of steak, too.
I think the weirdest thing I've eaten was like oysters, and I enjoy oysters. Like, don't worry, I'm not completely fucking psycho, but like that's probably like the weirdest thing you'll catch me eating. Ugh.
Oysters.
Ugh.
Look, I think we got the viewers caught up on like what we've been up to, this and that. What I wanted to get into, like I had something that I wanted to bring up. Tech's not here for it, but I have a feeling like once I bring this topic up, he's just gonna magically appear.
Okay.
And he's gonna really start chiming in on it.
Uh-oh.
Have you been seeing what's going on with Puff Daddy right now, or P Diddy?
Is it about what's her name?
Look, it was about Cassie.
It started with her, then there's males too involved in this.
The other day I was just home, you know what I mean? I was like, I had like YouTube open, and I'm just like, instead of watching Netflix or something, let me browse through YouTube and see what to watch. So I'm like, I've been hearing the whole Cassie P Diddy, but I didn't know what the whole story was. So I'm like, okay, let me click on it. And fuck, it's really, really crazy, you know what I mean? Like
I believe it.
All these freak.
I believe P Diddy's a fucking weirdo like that.
Definitely.
100%. Man has some issues.
What's the thing? What would they call freakouts?
Yeah.
So he has freakouts or something, and it's like basically a gangbang.
Yeah.
Fucking guy on guy.
Yeah, like he was
gangbangs.
But the thing with Cassie is that he was like keeping her like almost captive.
Yeah.
Not like captive, like she was, but like he kind of like had her in like this like chokehold, you know.
Well,
like,
I don't know if you saw because at one point when he had broken up, or I guess Cassie had broken up with him, and he still didn't get the message. Kid Cudi was hitting her up. And he was getting a little friendly with her. And Diddy heard about it because the guy's tapping her phones. This is what the shit's alleging, that he's tapping her phones. He's like, he has her social media
Jesus Christ.
on fucking spy mode. And he fucking hears about the whole Kid Cudi reaching out to her. And he says something along the lines, he's going to blow up his car. The same day or the day after, what happens to Kid Cudi's car in the driveway? Shit catches on fire, and I think it blows up, basically. So Diddy did that. And that was one of the things.
that's like a catchphrase. Diddy did that.
Yeah, now I've been seeing that in the comments, you know what I mean?
Diddy did that.
He's getting linked to Tupac's murder. I don't know if you're seeing all the other.
I think I heard something about
Like
that.
apparently he's the one that fucking put up the money to entice these guys to hit Tupac, and the only reason he never got arrested is because he never paid the guys. He just like he made the offer or something like that, and then if he would have made that payment, he would have got caught in a RICO and he would have went to jail apparently, and that's the only reason he didn't get caught up in the shit.
Fuck.
So like I'm reading this and it's just like fucking layering on and on and on and on. I'm like, fuck man, this guy's because there's this documentary series on YouTube called Swamp Stories, and it's basically it's this guy that does these documentary.
Yeah, you just
like a 1 hour documentary
Yeah.
series
I've watched shit like that.
on
The
gangsters.
rise and fall of Lindsay Lohan, like those kind of things.
Yeah, but this guy actually he does a really good job, and it's usually about gangsters and stuff like that. So when I saw he made one about Diddy, that's the one I clicked on second, I think, or third, and it was a whole hour and 10 minutes, and the stuff that he's just revealing was just so crazy. Besides like the Cassie stuff, his ex-wife, the one that just recently died, he had like punched her in the face, broke her nose. He said there's a male producer that's suing him right now.
Yeah, for sexual assault.
Sexual
Yeah,
assault,
yeah.
fucking crazy shit. And that one, if you see everything that he's alleging, the producer, it's like it's off the fucking walls.
I don't have like all
Yeah.
the details because I've only like skimmed through it on TikTok, right? Like TikTok is like a 3-minute version of an hour-long video, right?
Yeah.
So, but I've seen like what they've been talking about it. But
And the
it's-
producer says, what's his name was there was a famous R&B artist that basically Diddy would bang, and I think they were trying to insinuate that it was Usher. And there's also a famous Philly rapper that attends these parties and stuff like that. There's like only one Philly rapper everybody knows that hangs out with P Diddy. Who is it? It's Meek Mill. So now Meek Mill's out there defending
his like
the gay allegations that he's gay.
Usher, I could believe.
Look, Usher was hanging out with Diddy when he was 13. He was sleeping over at Diddy's house when he was 13. He was at Flavor Camp.
Did he do that?
Diddy's Flavor Camp. Imagine sending your kid,
Well,
to Diddy's Flavor Camp.
It's like Aaliyah and fucking R. Kelly all over again. Just the difference is Usher's.
I'm getting that smell of sending kids to Michael Jackson's Neverland. You know what I mean? No, send them to Diddy's Flavor Camp.
See, Michael Jackson, though, it's a bit iffy because I
It is
feel
a
like
bit iffy.
because Michael Jackson, from like the rumors, is that he didn't have a childhood, and a lot of it like got like put out there that he was like this child molester and this predator, but there's also the other side where they're like he just wanted to be a kid and he just wanted to hang out with kids and do kid shit. So it's like you kind of see both sides where it's like you're old and like you're grooming these children. It's fucking wrong. But then you also see the side of like, yo, his childhood was stripped away from him. He came from like an abusive fam, and like it kind of, both sides add up. So it's like, R.I.P. Michael Jackson, but could we really put that on him? We can't put either or.
Yeah.
But like Diddy and R. Kelly.
Look, I think like with the amount of evidence that you have coming on against Diddy, it's like a mountain at this point. With the whole Michael Jackson situation, it was always on the iffy side because it's like a he said, she said situation. A lot of these people just want money. You know what I mean? So that one, it could be trying to just taint somebody's legacy. You know what I mean?
But
For the Diddy one,
the second there was an allegation against Diddy, I was like, bro.
The craziest shit that probably not the craziest shit that he's done, but the craziest remark that he made to the producer when he's like, Diddy would get like fucking mood swings. He would be happy one moment, and then after he would like go off on him. And like he got up in his face, and I don't know, I guess because he did something wrong. I don't know what the situation was, but the guy, Diddy told the producer, he's like, I'd kill my own mama before I'd let this shit get taken away from me. So when somebody says they'd kill their own mother,
yeah, you're twisted.
so they don't take all his fucking worldly possessions. That's some like twisted shit right there.
Diddy. You're disappointing me, Diddy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was never like big on Diddy either way. I always thought he was like a bit of a fucking jerk. A little bit of a jerk off, a little dickhead. Fuck you, Diddy.
Yeah. And then after, there was a couple of more things. We'll jump off Diddy because wasting too much time on your ass, Diddy. But Mace. You know Mace the rapper.
Nope.
You don't know Mace the rapper. I'm pretty sure you know a couple of songs. If you heard them, you're like, okay, I know the song.
Maybe.
So Mace, who's part of Bad Boy, had a little bit of a beef at the time going on with Bad Boy and trying to get out of a deal. And apparently he was walking around with a strap because he was afraid that
he was going to get his ass
he was going to get clipped by fucking Diddy's guys. Same thing with Craig Mack. Flavor in your ear. Flavor in your ear.
I got the brand new flavor.
Yeah, so the same thing with him. They shelved his album. And it got to the point that Diddy was just fucking with him about when the next drop is gonna be. And it was all over Diddy wanting like a power trip moment. He basically just didn't like his manager, which was a lifelong friend of his. And he's like, yo, if you want to stay in part of Bad Boy, you got to fire your manager and choose a Bad Boy manager. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And ever since then, like, they had a really strained relationship. And the dude was like, he was walking around like there was a fucking target on his back and stuff like that. Diddy, apparently when Diddy gets pissed, he has like a vengeance and he's like a hungry dog. So you got to watch out for Diddy.
God damn it, Diddy.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Now Diddy's going to see this. He's going to come
He's going to get us canceled. Shit. If ever this episode doesn't air, Diddy did that. Diddy did that.
What else in the latest news out there? There has to be something like...
Is this episode coming out before April 18th?
Yeah, for sure it's going to come out before.
So then we should probably talk about that, no?
Yeah, we do have the Termanology show coming up.
Yep.
Termanology live at the Belmont, April 18th. It's going to be a fantastic show. Everybody's got to pull up. We got giveaways sponsored by High Times out in Oka, sponsored by Izzy's Kitchen, and the vibe is going to be phenomenal. I think I heard Tech. Tech just pulled up in the back. Tech just pulled up in the back.
The comments here. Oh, he does look like a fucking tool.
Yeah, he's wearing a suit.
Yeah, I'm in the building now, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think they're going to catch that.
What's up?
I got the kingpin over here.
In the how I look? Goddamn, I look fresher than a motherfucker. What's up?
What's going on?
What's going
on,
Let's
dog?
be so fucking for real right now.
What's up? What happened to your hair? What the fuck is going on here?
You don't
Going
like
through a
it?
midlife crisis? What the fuck is happening?
You don't like it?
Is everything okay?
I said it's like the 1950s.
What happened to your hair?
Well, that's happened about when I was 22. Too much testosterone. Probably genetics played a factor, you know?
He's already roasting. Wait, you don't like it for real?
I mean, it's different.
It's different.
We have time to talk. How I look in my suit. Watch
I
the
want it to
suit.
look different.
Looking good, looking fly.
You know what I'm saying?
Tech is on his business tip. Like
Yeah,
we already
man.
mentioned at the beginning.
Yeah.
Tech be selling those cars, man. He out there. He's selling those cars.
You need a car, you come see Vinny. And I promise, first of all, I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. But more importantly than that, I'm gonna take care of you. Okay?
Where at again? We were
Honda El Perot. You should know
I
this
said Baudroy.
very well. Same thing. Honda El Perot, 514-453-8416, extension 1367. I'm telling you right now, I will sell you a car if you're in the market. Mike, I know you're listening. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna switch seats for the we're gonna switch seats for the next interview because this is my bad side of my beard, okay?
That's my bad side.
Yeah, but you don't have a beard, so it doesn't really
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't affect nothing.
Your whole thing is a bad
You can
side.
see the nose ring on this side.
I don't give a fuck. Look at me now.
We're gonna
bitch.
switch sides. We're
You're
gonna
gonna
switch
sit
sides.
here, you're gonna
What
sit
are
here.
we talking about, folks?
We went over We went over ER. We went over
ER.
Diddy. We went over the alpaca trails.
Okay,
So
yeah.
no, we talked about the traveling.
Right.
Alpaca trails.
Right, the Inca Trail, but you know, it's okay. Yeah, Steve finally won on the Inca
Finally
Trail.
went on the fucking
Congratulations,
trail,
brother,
what
by
I
the
mean?
way, for
So,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
We talked about Talia's ER stories.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Which
okay.
is nothing crazy yet because it's only been a few weeks. But
Yeah.
I have a feeling in a month or two you're gonna tell us some like.
Some wild
So you're like the gérante
Yeah.
of the urgence, genre?
I'm basically like the doctor's secretary.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Then,
Congrats.
Thank you.
I stumbled down the what's it called, the Diddy Cassie.
Yeah,
hole.
we've beat that horse already.
So I went down that rabbit hole and
Right.
yeah.
Give us an update on you, man.
Well, look, in case you can't tell, I'm selling cars. It's crazy how this all came together because I was in a shitty fucking job before this doing surveillance, okay, at a casino. And honestly, with that job, it was just, I felt like a fucking loser. Like, what really hit it off for me, and that's no offense to anybody who does it, it's just me, my own kind of expectations for myself, right? So, I had seen my cousin, shout out to my cousin Tiff at Christmas, who's like super successful. I mean, like her whole life is like, she can make a movie about her life. She's super successful. And she was like, so it was actually her boyfriend. We were outside smoking and he goes, so, what are you doing for work? And then it was hard for me to be like at 35, I work in a surveillance office. Like when I heard it come out of my mouth, I'm like, I sound like a fucking loser right now.
It made it sound really fucking
But
bro.
whatever. So I was like, fuck, okay. So I ended up leaving that job, and on January 3rd, okay, and then I was like kind of down a little bit, not knowing what my next move was, and somebody had planted a bug in my ear. Actually, shout out to Sammy, who I was in the surveillance office with. He's like, you should sell fucking cars, bro. You have the personality. Da, da, da. I was like, whatever. So I was looking for jobs, and I applied at Honda El Perot and a couple other places, and they actually ended up calling me back. So obviously, I went to the interview. Obviously, I got the job. Here I am, 5 weeks in. I'm at 15 cars.
15
Nice.
15 cars in 5 weeks, no experience.
And
I
how
mean,
does that work? Is it like based off commission?
It's 100% commission. So the thing
That's
about
it?
car sales is like you get a base salary, which I won't tell you what it is just for obviously like corporate reasons. But you get a base salary and it's not enough to sustain yourself on, obviously, because it's to incentivize you to sell cars, right? So you have to sell. You don't sell, you don't eat. And turns out I'm fucking really good at selling cars.
Right.
I'm really fucking good at selling cars, guys. Like it's weird to say at 35 you found your calling in something as weird as selling cars, but here the fuck I am, bro. I'm like running the board, and I just want to give a quick shout out to my manager / mentor, because I actually for the first time in my life, remember we've had people on the podcast who've been like, get a mentor. That was like their gem. Get a mentor, mentorship, whatever. So shout out to Simon Simo. He's my mentor, and he's kind of built me. It's only been 5 weeks, but he's helped building me, I should say, into like a successful car salesman or whatever. But man, I mean, bro, like I said, 15 cars in 5 weeks with no experiences. It's not luck at that point. 5 or 6 could have been luck, but it's a combination. But car sales is fascinating because it's a game. From the minute you sit down in front of me, it's a game where I'm playing a game with you. We'll crack a little joke. Okay, this guy, he's dead serious. There's no jokes with this guy. It's very much, it's going to be, what is the numbers and what are you going to do for me, right? With other people, you could kind of, it's my body. We're going to crack jokes. And then when it's time to get serious, okay, we'll take you on the test drive. We'll bust your balls a little bit. Then when we get back, I say, okay, now the fun is over, guys. Now we have to really get serious and we're going to talk. We're going to build a transaction. We're going to see what we can do. So I'm fucking killing it. And for the first time in my adult life, guys, I'm really happy with what I'm doing in terms of work. Like, yeah, man, I'm fucking killing it in life right now, bro. Like,
Love that for you.
yeah, I'm fucking happy, guys. I'm happy.
That's
as fuck.
awesome.
Yeah, man.
Here's to 15 more cars. Cheers.
That's it, bro. 15 more. Let's go.
15
man.
more. Let's go.
Yeah, let's fucking go.
And we were also talking about the show coming up.
Yes, we need to talk about the show.
the
Do you wanna give a little input on it?
I will give a little bit of an input as well as my mandatory Tech Luciano intro. So on April the 18th, ladies and gentlemen, at the Belmont, we have none other than Termanology coming down from Massachusetts. Now, Steve thinks he's from Boston. I think he's from Worcester. So we're going to talk to Termanology himself, and we're going to get to the bottom of this.
I have no clue where the
Lawrence,
fuck
Mass. So
he's
we were
from.
both wrong, but Lawrence is definitely closer to Worcester, so I'll go with me on this one. But all that aside, guys, if you don't know who Termanology is, you probably shouldn't be listening to our podcast, maybe? No, I'm kidding. But if you don't know who he is, listen, this guy had a tremendous run back in the mixtape days. Back in back when I was in, I want to say Dawson, maybe. So we're talking about realistically like 2009 to like 12 was really where I don't want to say he peaked because that sounds terrible, but he was going crazy at that time.
And you worked with some big names.
Yeah, I mean, he's worked with everybody from like Primo
Mac
to
Miller.
Right, like exactly. He's got some major features under his belt as well. So that being said, we're super excited. Again, guys, April 18th, which is a Thursday at the Belmont. come through. We got tickets available. You already know the vibes. They're $25 a ticket. $25 a ticket. You can holler at any three of us as well as any of the artists on the bill. Opening acts we're talking about. Go ahead, Steve.
We got Cool Man Logan. We got Gab Padilla. We got Elro. And we got the Regulators.
Regulators as well.
And who else we got? We got Carrera in the building. He just dropped his latest album.
Shout out to Carrera. We got to get him on the pod, actually. Yeah, he's been in New York going crazy, bro.
Yeah, he's got the features. He's got Mussolini.
Yeah.
J Red. He's got a lot of features on it.
Yeah, man.
4 or 5, I think. But besides that, he's been working hard, and he's staying consistent.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect fit for the show.
Well, there you motherfucking have it. So, again, April 18th, be there, be square, man. You know what it is. Termanology is in Montreal at the Belmont. Come through. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What else can we talk about, guys?
Going over some.
I could go on rants about like society, but I don't know if we want to go down that rabbit hole.
Why not?
Yeah, man, I've been having this conversation a lot lately with coworkers and stuff, because now I'm amongst adults, right? So I got to be an adult, you know what I mean? So when you're amongst adults, we tend to talk about things like mortgage rates and interest rates and the state of the economy. All that to say, Canada is in the fucking shitter right now.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys are like really paying attention to like the Trudeau and Poilievre back and forth.
Yeah.
I've been paying attention, and my vote is with Poilievre 100%.
Absolutely.
You know, it's funny to say that in your 30s, when you'll get there eventually, you become conservative in your 30s, okay? And when I was your age, you're what, 24, 25?
26.
26. Okay, so, well, even at 26, I would say more when I was like 23, 24, I was very liberal, right? I was in university, or you're in academia. You have all these fucking indoctrinations being pushed on you about like liberal woke fucking bullshit. And I was very much into that ideology, right? And then once you become in your 30s, you have kids, now you have responsibilities. And this is the thing I want to highlight with this, right? Because when you're in your 20s and you're in school and you're working and shit, but like really and truly, that's the extent of your responsibility. Your extent of your responsibilities is maybe a car payment, a cell phone bill, and like food, right? That's it. When you're in your 30s, now you have kids, you're starting to think about mortgage rates. You're starting to think about like how much the interest is going to be on a car loan, for example, which you just went through. Things like this, which are all affected by the economy, right? Mm-hmm. So once you start thinking of all these things, you start to see that this woke ideology bullshit really only works on paper. It doesn't work in the real world. And I mean, if you look at what Trudeau's done in terms of policy in Canada, he's literally sold our country to China and other places, but he's basically, no, it's not a joke. If you go to Vancouver, 1/3 of the real estate in Vancouver is owned by Chinese like mogul fucking people. They're just basically coming over here and buying up all the real estate.
Yep.
How is this allowed to happen?
Look, the best way that Canada has been described recently in a lot of videos that I've been watching, a lot of reports, Canada's a Ponzi scheme. The only way Canada can continue being Canada is by bringing in mass immigration.
Right.
Because they need people to work for cheap. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, that fucks up your wage. Mm-hmm. The economy goes all into whack. Yeah. And they keep doing this every time that when that bracket of payment. Right. Now the new class that just came in, they don't want that pay anymore. Bring another 500,000. Bring more. The amount of immigration that's happened in the past since the Trudeau administration, not that it's a bad thing, but it's just too much.
No, it is a bad thing.
Look, when it's too much, yes, it's a bad thing. But at the end of the day, like Canada has been built on immigration. 100%. Canada is a country made by immigrants.
But there's limits.
There's limits, exactly. That's where we're getting into. There's limits. You know what I mean? When you have 500,000 people coming in and there's no housing, and that's affecting the housing market, and it's causing all the apartment rents to hike up and everything. That's what's happening due to these waves of people coming in at the same time.
And not only that, but like you have to look at like for people who were born in this country, right? And I want to like preface this by saying it's not about race. So this is it's not about what country people are coming from. It has nothing to do with anything. This is not a racial conversation. It's a conversation about for people who were actually born here or people who have been in this province for 20 plus years working and paying taxes in this country, right? There's no resources available. Listen, at the end of the day, there's a finite amount of resources, okay? Meaning that once you get to that number, there's no more left. And already we're getting to a point, look, you work in healthcare, you see it every single day. There's not enough doctors for the patients. The emergency rooms are overrun. Yep. We literally can't, like, okay, look, for me, for example, I wanted to get blood tests done, right? as a tax-paying citizen in my own fucking country, you know how hard it was for me to get blood tests? I'm still waiting for a callback to go get blood tests, guys. All I want is I'm 35 years old. I just want a bill of health. I just want to see where I'm at in terms of health.
Yeah, but leave Canada
Waiting for a callback too for a fucking
leave Canada
injury.
out of the equation. Let's talk about Quebec specifically because there's a lot of immigrants that come here with like doctor degrees and like they're able to start practicing here. But because of Quebec, they're not allowed to
It's all over Canada, though.
It's all over Canada. It's not
all
just
over
here because
Canada,
I'm fairly sure you're able to do it elsewhere because here specifically they have their fucking weird ass fucking laws and they're not accepting people that have these fucking diplomas. They have to restart school, take on new loans.
It is all over Canada, but the thing with Quebec is just a little extra hard because you gotta learn French on top of it.
Exactly.
Right? So that's like the
system is broken. I mean, even as something as simple, right, as like getting antibiotics. You're sick. I need antibiotics. Should I realistically have to go to a waiting room for a doctor to sign a piece of paper, or should the pharmacist be allowed to just prescribe penicillin? It's not opioids, guys. We're not asking for hard drugs here. It's penicillin. Like, just doing that would cut the fucking emergency room in half every winter. It's just simple things that the system's not working. But back to, you know, the immigration and stuff like that. I mean, even with what's going on in the States with the border in Mexico and the sanctuary cities and shit. Like, okay, in New York right now, I don't know if you saw this. There's a new law that passed apparently that the people coming in who are undocumented, right? So meaning they're not citizens, they're undocumented people, are allowed to own guns.
What?
What are you guys talking about right now?
No, dude. I think that has. When did you see this?
Like today. This was all over Instagram.
Because what's happening right now in New York has had enough.
It's about fucking time.
It's no longer a sanctuary city. They're deporting en masse.
It's a little late for that.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Biden administration and the Democrats have fucking ruined New York.
Yeah.
There's rampant muggings going on.
Oh, yeah.
There's a violent Venezuelan street gang that's fucking controlling New York at this point.
Who's surprised? Are you guys surprised?
Tren de Aragua. These guys
Of course
are
he
all
knows the name.
They're all over the fucking world. Like Colombia, they're in Peru, they're in the United States. And these guys, they're doing the same shit that they do in South America.
Yeah.
They're doing. Now, if you see a moped in New York, you're automatically thinking somebody's gonna steal your purse because there's two guys on the moped. One guy's doing the snatching, the other guy's driving. They're also doing the honeypot schemes.
What's
They're
that?
like they set up a sexy girl's gonna go to a bar where all the rich Wall Street guys go.
Right.
They're gonna end up getting the guy drunk. Then they go back to a hotel, their house or whatever, and
take him to the cleaners.
They take him to the cleaners. The guy gets drunk. He wakes up the next morning. All they do is they steal the credit cards.
That's all you
These
need.
guys have the $50,000, $100,000 max.
Yeah.
They wake up the
Yeah,
next
they steal
morning.
the black card and clear it out. Yeah,
they
yeah,
clear
yeah.
the whole fucking card.
Fuck.
Imagine that.
I mean,
and they see there's purchases being done at 3 to 4 in the morning at Best Buys or something or wherever Apple stores.
yeah,
at
50
Apple
grand
stores,
worth of fucking electronics.
Like, come on.
You know what? And to circle back on the point, it's like I want to be clear about we do have to have compassion as a society for other countries and shit that's going on in the world because there's atrocities happening for sure. Okay, but at the same time, it's like realistically, how much can we do for these other countries before we even start fixing our own problems, right? Like if your house is super dirty and I notice, but my house is super dirty too, shouldn't I probably think about cleaning my house before I tell you to clean yours or coming over and cleaning your house and then but my house is still dirty? We got to fix what's going on here, guys. There's not enough resources for Canadians. Okay, forget about America for a second. I'm a father of two. I'm worried about what is my kids' future going to look like economically? What kind of resources are going to be available from my kids? Forget about kids from all over the fucking world. Yeah, it's sad what's going on, but I need to know what's going on here now for us. I've been paying taxes for over 20 years, guys. I'm first in line. Sorry,
True though.
And if that makes me fucking a racist bigot, you can go fuck yourself, but so be it. I don't care.
All the money is getting sent to Ukraine. You got the mass immigration.
Not just that, just the fucking vacations Trudeau's been going on alone.
Yeah, and he's going on with these
We need to get rid of him.
crazy
Absolutely.
amounts
He
of,
needs to go. Guys, you need to vote for Polyev.
And you know what's crazy too? My brother and my dad had gotten into an argument over Trudeau and Polyev, and it's crazier that the younger generation in comparison to the older generation, we see through all the bullshit, but the older generation, they're still liberal. Like my dad
Yeah.
was like, "Oh,
Especially in
fuck
Quebec.
Polyev, fuck
Especially in
this,
Quebec.
that." And
Yeah.
my brother's like, "No, are you dumb?" Like,
It's because he's not looking at the policies. He's
No.
just looking at the person.
Well,
Yeah.
not only that, you have to understand that in Quebec, the English community has voted liberal forever. So it's literally ingrained in our
Yeah.
parents. Like my parents too, liberal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, read the policies. Like, don't just vote liberal because that's what you've done since 1975.
And
Yeah.
You know how they send obviously my mom and my grandmother, then they always vote Trudeau.
Yeah.
Me, I've been voting against Trudeau for a while now. And every time like he sends that Christmas card or thank you, come vote, first thing I do is either I crumple it up, throw it in the garbage, or I burn the thing. Last time I burnt like a hole in his face and I put a joint in his mouth. And that's what I think of Trudeau.
Be
you know
careful.
what I mean?
He's going to fucking lock you
Yeah.
up. He's going to freeze your bank account.
yeah,
the
but you
fucking
know
guy.
what the problem is with Trudeau winning is that the younger generation, like my age, even 30-year-olds, they don't want to go out and vote.
No, they don't.
And you know who does want to go out and vote?
Old people.
Old people. So we're never gonna see change if we don't fucking
No.
do something about
But
it.
you know what? That also brings back to your point about the immigration because, and this is an interesting
too.
theory that I heard. I can't remember where I heard it, but it's an interesting theory about why they're bringing in so many immigrants too, right? Because Trudeau's administration is bringing all these people to the country.
They want votes.
Who do you think they're going to vote
Yeah.
for?
Yeah, it's the votes. It's the votes. That's the theory. There's a big scam that was going on in New Brunswick, PEI. I think it just got uncovered on the W5, that investigative journalism show.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but
It was basically this Indian-owned company that they wanted to start the world's biggest apple orchard in Canada.
Apple Orchard. You said orchid.
Orchid, yeah. Apple orchard. And they wanted to start the biggest one in Canada, and they wanted to be one of the biggest producers and
Right.
exporters in the
They
world.
wanted to be the Saputo of apples, basically.
Anyways, they started up buying up plots of land, and instead of like planting fucking apples, it turned into a immigration scheme. So they've been doing this for a year now, or maybe 2 years. Basically, they have Indian websites. This is all translated it's all offered in Indian,
Right.
or Punjabi,
Like
Hindi,
Hindi,
whatever.
whatever, yeah.
And it's basically saying, come farm over here in Canada, invest money into Canada Orchard, and in 6 months you'll have
We're going to give you your papers.
permanent residency in
Right.
Canada. So after when the government looked into it, they're realizing that nobody's actually working at these orchards. These orchards don't even exist.
It's just a front for
It's a
fucking
front
papers, bro.
that you're paying up front. The one Chinese guy, he came here thinking he's gonna plant apples. He paid 30 fucking K.
Now he works for Apple.
He paid 30 grand. He paid 30 grand, and he caught it. He put this all on video because he felt like he was getting scammed at a certain point. Like he's going there, they're telling him pay me in cash, and like this whole thing just seems like a fucking shady deal. You know what I mean? And that's what's been happening. I don't know how many. I think thousands of people have entered Canada
100%.
this way. You
I
know
wouldn't
what
be
mean?
surprised at all at this point, bro.
That's wild.
So it's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, again, to kind of wrap this negative part of the podcast up, I guess, and maybe move on to something else. Again, it's in my opinion, and again, this is just my opinion, but the system is broken, man, and I don't know what it's going to take to fix it. I think honestly, if I'm being objective about it, I think what it's going to take is the Canadian people just having enough, and it's going to be economic. It's always economic, right? It's going to get to a point which we're pretty close to now, where you listen, as even as a 2-person household with the man and woman or man and man or whatever the fucking couple is, okay? 2 people in a household working, you still can't afford to buy a house right now. Unless you're both making realistically over 80 to 90 grand a year. So, then you encompass the utility bills and the high rate to buy a car right now, which I know and you know because you just did it. The price of groceries, the price of gas. You factor all of these things in together, and what I'm saying is it's almost impossible at this point for a Canadian family to survive is one thing, okay? Yes, we'll survive. But in our parents' day, for example, like when our parents were our age, reasonably with a decent job between 2 people, you can have a nice house, a nice car, but not only that, you could have disposable income. How many people do we know right now in our age groups that have disposable income, that are doing like a real job, being a productive member of society, who can say, I'm gonna buy my first house, I'm gonna buy a car, I'm gonna go on a trip this year? I don't know nobody like that. The people I know who are doing shit like that, and I'm not talking about you right now, Steve, so stop smiling. The people who I know who are doing shit like that, they're into some shady shit. They're into some shady shit. And you know what? More power to them because you have to be. You have to be.
You gotta what's it called? You gotta use the hands you were dealt and fucking take it to the next level.
Take it to the next motherfucking level, man. What else is going on in the news, though? Let's spin this more positively, man.
More positively.
I had a really interesting shout out to my mentor again, Simo. He gave me some really good ideas for some podcast guests.
Perfect.
So Mike Ward, the comedian, he might be a little hard to get though because he's doing his thing. But I think we might know some people who know some people that maybe can put us into contact with him. And Olivier Aubé-Mercier as well, the fighter.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
We could get him on as well. Those would be some interesting
I
guests.
love fighters.
And I'm gonna put this out. Yeah, she really does. I'm gonna put this out into the ethos officially on record right now. Okay, these are all my ways of weaseling around to get George St. Pierre on the podcast. So we've interviewed some of his training partners. We're gonna keep doing that until we get close enough. It's our goal. It's my goal personally for 2024. George St. Pierre is gonna be sitting in one of these chairs, guys. You heard it here first.
Like if he sold 15 cars in 5 weeks.
Vinny's on top of his game.
Listen, I sold my body just to get his coach on this fucking podcast.
Wow,
So we're all doing it.
That's
We're
why
all doing it.
That's why you dyed your hair. It makes sense now. It makes sense now. He likes dark hair. So
I'm definitely looking forward for Ayman Zahabi interview.
100%, but that's gonna be fire, man.
Saw the last fight
Hey,
a few
man.
weeks ago, fight night.
Yeah.
And now that he's getting to sit down with us, ooh.
Yeah, we're on a good roll, man. I think momentum is on our side. I think I said it on the last little tidbit where we sat together that our chemistry as a podcast has gotten much better. I think it took 100 episodes, but I think
100
finally now
episodes.
we're comfortable enough amongst each other because the whole way this podcast came together was funny, though. Steve, you got to admit it. I'm putting you in the hot seat, but you got to admit it. You just took 3 random people with no camera. Well, me and you kind of had a rapport.
He
'cause
just
we're
posted
boys.
it on Facebook,
But,
and I was
like,
like,
how it
I'm
works,
down.
You just plucked 3 random people and like, fuck it, we gonna run this shit.
I almost wasn't here. He picked someone else before me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
No,
dickhead.
there was a few choices actually. But Talia
Talia won out.
right.
went out.
It ain't a
Talia went out.
competition.
Unfortunately.
Eh,
Unfortunately.
you just mad because I got a full head of hair and you don't.
You got to find a new joke. Honestly, Tals, I mean, it was funny the first couple times.
Yeah,
but
the
I'ma keep
stuff.
saying-
you should know.
Oh, just like when you guys kept calling me fucking pregnant.
but that was funny, though.
That was not funny.
That was fucking hilarious.
Because
guys.
one day I'll actually be pregnant and it will be news and you guys are gonna be like, we knew it.
Yeah,
and
but then it won't be
like,
funny
it
anymore.
won't be fun
Won't be
to tell
funny.
you guys.
No, but at that point we'll like link the 2 events together. So there will be like nothing ever happened. We'll rewind 80
No,
episodes.
I'll probably just start saying you don't know who the father is, and that'll be the new running joke.
Jesus fucking.
I always got one in the fucking pocket. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I
man.
hate it here.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. It's a love-hate relationship. So that's what we do on the Hustle Podcast, man.
Yep.
Yeah, buddy, man.
Who gets the gem today?
The gem. Wait, we're not doing the gem yet.
Why not?
Because we're not there yet. Give
Okay,
it a
but when we
chance.
get there, why can't we like plan in
Well, it
advance?
sounds like you want to have the gem, and then
No,
mean,
I
it's-
don't want
Yeah,
the
she-
gem. I am the
She's
gem.
getting the gem today.
She's getting the gem.
I don't want the gem
Realistically,
today.
what kind of life wisdom do you have at 25? This is what I want. Fuck the gem. Give me
First
some
of all,
life wisdom.
26.
It's
Second
true.
of all, I've been through some shit.
What have you been
As we
through?
all
A
have.
breakup?
No.
She used to fucking transport dead bodies, right?
Yeah, so?
She's seen some shit.
I think maybe something
I've-
happened in her childhood. We're talking about some childhood trauma here.
Listen.
Like you
I
sold
do have
fi-
a background in clinical
you
psychology. A lot of people don't know
sold
that.
15 cars in 5 weeks.
Yet you're
She-
selling
she saw
cars
20
and you're
dead
working
bodies, bro.
I dropped
security at
out.
a casino.
I dropped out, okay?
Okay.
I'm not proud of it.
Okay, so then don't bring it
happened.
up.
But
Look,
I
dude.
still have a fucking degree in psychology, you fuck.
How do you have a degree if you dropped out?
Look, I don't have a master's.
Okay. But you can't do anything with that?
No, but I still have the knowledge, though.
But I wanted to ask you a question about that security job.
Sure.
Like sitting in front of all those screens.
Yeah, it's very
Does
boring.
it gets very boring?
I would fall asleep
Or do you make
daily.
up like some bullshit stories? You see some guys walking.
Oh, no,
around
I fell
and-
asleep
and,
every day.
like, you start fucking zooming into that guy and you're like, he's up to some shit.
Oh, for sure. There's ways to like kind of keep yourself alive, but I fell asleep every day.
All right.
Yeah.
I think our next guest has just walked into the building.
Uh-oh.
That's very creepy, the way you said that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to keep it
Everything
under
he
wraps,
says
man. I'm
is
trying to keep
creepy,
it under
though.
wraps. I'm
Steve's
trying
a
to keep it
creepy
under wraps.
bastard, man.
Creepy dude,
And
for real.
Talia, it's your turn for the gem. Like you've been talking about that.
No,
gem.
no, no,
Yeah,
I
Reach
don't.
drop
across the
gem.
table, words of wisdom. Let's go.
God damn it.
Drop a gem.
No, I know. I mean,
Oh
I'm
my
very anxious to
God.
see what you have to say, actually.
All the single ladies out there, this one's for you.
Ladies, leave your man at home. The club is full of ballers and their pockets all full. And all you ladies,
That's a terrible spoken word fucking poem right now, right?
do
Are
you
you
guys not-
quoting Beyonce right now? That's what we're doing? We're quoting Beyonce?
I think that's what happened.
That is a 100% verbatim
First of all,
quote from
it's
Beyonce.
Destiny's Child.
Yeah, Beyonce.
Get it right.
Beyonce.
I mean, let's be honest.
is
It's
Destiny's
Beyonce.
Child.
I mean, nobody listens to Kelly or Michelle. So.
Whatever. That was my gem.
That's your
guys.
gem? All right. Well, I mean, it's the worst one in the history of the podcast, but we'll take it.
You want to say something for Vinny?
We'll take it. I mean,
Why don't we all take the gem and say a little?
honestly, I'm not even gonna hold the gem because I don't need to. I'm shining. But if the way that the last couple of months have kind of transpired, years, I would even say, just with my girl coming into my life and the way everything just kind of fell into place without me really chasing after it, I would say sometimes, man, just have a little bit of faith, guys, man. You know, I tend to be a pessimist. Not tend to be. I'm a fucking pessimist. You guys know this very well.
Just a pest.
Have a little bit of faith sometimes, guys, because you know what? We have our ups, we have our downs, but I mean, fuck, if you're a good person and you want good things and you do the work to get good things, they will come. So I don't want to be one of these people who's like law of attraction and just manifest. No, you actually do have to like get up and put boots to pavement and like work for things. But overall, have a little bit of faith sometimes, bro, because it's not all bad. It's not all bad.
I just want to say is it's always about the law of attraction. You don't have to put in the work. Trust me, if you just sit there and you fucking think about it,
Yeah.
and you dream about it,
100%.
it will happen.
All you have to do is put it on a vision board
right.
and it will
That's it.
happen.
Let me give a real gem-ish. Get right with God.
You're religious now?
Talia is getting baptized next week.
Wait, are you actually serious?
You missed
Dead
that part
ass.
at the beginning.
I've been going to church
Why?
to pray.
She was reborn. She's a born again virgin.
Okay, well, I mean, let's relax. But let me ask you. Okay, let me ask you a serious question. Okay, and I mean this. I'm not even being funny. We have time. I'm being serious because I'm kind of fascinated. Do you find that ever since you kind of, because this is fairly new for you, right? Okay, so do you find that like it's kind of given you some guidance or like some direction or something to hold on to that's given you power in your life?
Honestly, it almost feels like manifestation.
You really gonna say that word?
I swear to God, when I when I go and I speak to God in church or even when I'm home and I pray, I don't like, okay, look, listen, I'm not here reading the fucking Bible and I'm like fucking trying to fucking get with a priest here, but like I do have like faith.
Okay.
And when I do speak to God, I don't ask for anything. I'm grateful for what is given to me.
Okay.
And I feel like when I show my appreciation for where I'm at, where I'm going, I just ask for guidance.
Okay.
So let's say I'm in a situation where I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this man. Worst example, but just an example. I don't know how I feel about this man. God, I believe that you will guide me the right direction. If he's meant to be in my life, he'll be in my life. If he's not, he won't, and you will take him out for me. And ever since I've been applying this, when I do pray, great things have been happening. Got a new job, got a new car, moved out. I'm in a very healthy place in my life, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I still need to work on it because I'm very cold and I bail on all my fucking dates. Sorry. But
you're also
that's
young.
also
I
just because
mean,
I'm not ready to be dating or putting myself out
you're
there.
also 26. There's no rush. I mean,
Exactly. Not that I'm in a rush,
realistically,
but
right.
that's another thing. For example, I'll be like, God, if I'm meant to be with someone, please guide that person to be in my life.
Right.
But never like, hey, I want a new fucking Ferrari, or hey,
well,
I want
mean,
this, or I
don't
want
think
that.
that's how it works.
No, but that's more manifestation.
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
do
yeah.
feel like there is a level of manifestation when speaking to a higher power.
Yeah, no, I think there is too. I just think that people tend to put all the eggs in the manifestation part and forget about the actual legwork that comes with it. You know what I mean? But so in wrapping up, I mean, listen, honestly, jokes aside, I'm happy for you. That's awesome. And no, for real,
Hallelujah.
holla motherfucking
You just say
hallelujah, man.
hallelujah?
No, but that's a good one. I said
Yeah.
hallelujah, but hallelujah sounds good.
I was gonna go on another rant, but fuck it, we'll wrap it up here. Good
wrap
for you.
it up here.
Good for you.
Another episode of the Hustle Podcast. We out.
Come see Vinny.
God bless.
Welcome everybody. Y'all ready for this? The Hustle. My name is Steve Armopoulos, and these are my co-hosts.
And I'm Talia.